Hey guys, Reaganite71 back with you for another Halloween scroll saw episode. Today we're going to be scrolling out the Grim Reaper. Ooh, scary, huh? Now this is a neat little project for a candle holder that will actually project light through your fretwork and make a really neat, scary Halloween scene. This project was designed and is available for free thanks to Steve Good and his great YouTube channel and also his blog over at scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com. I'll have a link to the video here, and if you go to my blog, reaganite71.blogspot.com, I'll have links up to his blog and also his free pattern catalog where you can pick this and a lot of neat scroll saw goodies up. Now let's get to it. Now I've already gone ahead and cut out the patterns, and I've found an old dog-eared cedar fence that I think will be ideal for this. It's going to do a couple of things for us. First of all, I'm repurposing wood, which means I'm saving money. The second thing is it's ½ inch, just like we need for the project. It calls for ½ inch material. And the other thing is that I'm going to sand it down a little bit. That way the pattern will stick to it better. But once we pull that pattern off, it'll have already been sanded and it'll have a nice orange tint to it, yet still retain some of that rusticness. So it ought to look really good, especially with the candlelight shining through. Now the next thing I did is I took my patterns and sprayed them down with spray adhesive, put them on the project wood pieces themselves, went ahead and wrapped them with packing tape to prevent splintering and keep the blade cool. And the next thing, drill the pilot holes. The next thing I'm going to do is take an 1¼ Forstner bit. I'm going to actually make a depression here for the candle holder to sit in so that it won't slide off. I'm going to take that brad point and put it in the little divot I created. Bring the drill press down. Now I know exactly where to hold this. Just under 1/4 inch ought to do there. And now it's time to bring forth the Grim Reaper. Cedar smells so good. It's one of my favorite woods to cut. It really is. You got to be careful though, because it's very soft and it's so easy for that blade to just burst right through the line or get off of it real easy. So take your time by all means and go slowly with it until you get really comfortable with it. And even then, you're likely to have blade drift. So just be careful with that and be mindful of it. Now we're going to hit this paper with some mineral spirits, and she will come right off, all of that paper. It'll also weaken the glue, and I am going to give it a light sanding because of that. The base will be a lot easier to sand than this. I've got to be very careful though, because that is super brittle and would come off really, really easy. So we just got to be very careful with that. Let it set for about 30 seconds. And now we're going to take the paper off, and it should just come right off, nice and easy. The good thing about this with that fretwork is you don't have to sand it off, because boy, if you've got some fragile fretwork, the more you sand, the more at risk it is. So it's good to be able to just pop it off like that. Very, very light with the sander, please. Well, let's see how she fits now. Ah, yeah, looking good. Now, one more thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my little hobby knife and I'm just going to clean up any fuzzies, any kind of imperfections. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is just take an air compressor and blow all the sawdust out. Next, I'm just going to take a cotton t-shirt and I'm going to wipe everything down, just making sure the last little bits of sawdust are off of there and all the sanding work is cleared out. I've got a full-length video on finishing fretwork. I'll put a link up to it right here, and you can check that out if you're interested. Next, I'm just going to take a little bit of boiled linseed oil, and I'm going to wipe them down. It'll soak right into the wood, bring out the wood grain, and make it look beautiful. You can also take that air compressor. If you dip the pieces, you can use the air compressor to blow the excess out, and it'll help it dry a little faster. And then you can just set it up by a fan and let it air dry. Well, guys, thanks for joining me today as we scrolled out the Grim Reaper. It's a great little Halloween project. A big thank you to Steve Good for offering that pattern up for free over on his website. I'll have a link over at my blog, reaganite71.blogspot.com, so you can get over there and grab that pattern and a bunch of other good ones. He's got a really good YouTube channel too. I'll put another link right here. And wish y'all a very, very happy Halloween. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Oh no! Listen, Grim Baby, it was just a little joke, that's all. Really, just a gag. That's all. It's just a scroll saw project, that's all. Really, nothing to be afraid of here. Nothing at all. Right? It's just some old cedar wood. It wasn't haunted at all. Right? I see dead trees. What is this, Auburn?